using CloudWatch. So guys, what is this CloudWatch used for? So can I write CloudWatch is used for monitoring purpose? We know already. CloudWatch is used to monitor. Okay, now tell me, is it CloudWatch is used to monitor performance or what? Do you remember we discussed this, no? So CloudWatch is used to monitor performance. Do you remember with this CloudWatch we have learned also couple of services for in monitoring section. In monitoring we have learned CloudWatch, right? We know CloudWatch and yes, CloudTrail we have learned, and then we have discussed. You know what? Config, correct? You know clearly the difference between all these three things, correct? CloudWatch, CloudTrail, and config. So this CloudWatch is used to monitor the performance. Chiti, this CloudWatch will be monitoring only EC2 or all AWS services? CloudWatch can monitor all AWS services. Super. Not only EC2, it can monitor all. It can monitor all. So remember, CloudWatch is a very simple service, guys. So CloudWatch is all about three things. Number one, alarms, events, and logs, guys. So these are the very important things in CloudWatch. So if you know these three things, yes, that is super good. What are the three things everyone write down? Alarms, events, and logs. There is a question. So can we monitor performance using Splunk as well? What is your answer, guys? Obviously, yes. So you can get hell number of third-party tools integrated with AWS. Whatever we are discussing, the CloudWatch is in-house or native AWS monitoring, which is CloudWatch. So we are learning that. So you can use Splunk, you can use OpsView, you can use Valhalla, you can use Nagios, you can use Datadog, you can use whatnot. So many things are there. New Relic, yes. So the CloudWatch is all about here, alarms, events, and logs. So if we learn these three topics, so we are good with this CloudWatch. So let's say, for example, we know this already. Let's take an EC2 instance. So this EC2, and we have application. Okay. And we have the operating system inside it. Okay. So now we need to monitor this EC2 instance. In order to monitor to this EC2 instance, what are the things that we monitor? So guys, we will be monitoring CPU, right? We'll monitoring network, we'll monitoring disk, and we'll monitoring status check. Guys, these are the only four things that can be monitored by the CloudWatch by default. So these four things are called host level metrics. What are this called? Guys, everyone, what is this called? Host level metrics. What are this called? Host level metrics. Host level metrics. So this is a certification question. So remember, CloudWatch can monitor only these host level metrics. CloudWatch can monitor. CloudWatch can monitor only host level metrics. So these metrics are also called as default metrics. What it is? What are the metrics meaning what? CPU the CPU network, this all this called metrics. All these are called metrics. So what are the so this CloudWatch by default can monitor only CPU for the EC2 instance, network, disk, how much is left and all, status checks, 2/2 checks are passed. These are the only 4 metrics that will be monitored by the CloudWatch by default. Let's say, for example, memory. Is it possible to monitor the memory with the default metrics? Do we have memory in the default metrics? No. So if you have such kind of things, those are called custom metrics. What are these called? Custom, for example, memory. So you might get a question saying that, hey, memory is a custom metric or default metric. Then you should say it is custom metric. And you also should know under default metric, what are the metrics that you will get, you should know. That is CPU, network, disk, and status check. CPU, network, disk, and status checks are AWS provided default metrics. Okay, na? Guys, getting it slowly? Okay. So we know also there are 2 types of monitoring. So what are those? Number 1 is basic monitoring, and then detail monitoring. Basic monitoring and detail monitoring. So basic monitoring is every 5 minutes interval, data points, which is free. Whereas detail monitoring is every 1 minute interval data point, which is billable. So yes, so we have the CPU utilization that looks like this, for example. So I have already shown you this. If you take basic monitoring, so 9 o'clock, sorry, 9:05, 9:10, 9:15. This is basic. Detail monitoring, 9 o'clock, 9:01, 9:02, 9:03, like this. That is the difference. There's a question, sir, as per my understanding, CloudWatch can't monitor CPU services. What is this here? What is that understanding, Sri Vidya? CloudWatch can monitor the CPU, network, disk, and status check. These are all the things that CloudWatch can monitor. What is the meaning of CPU services? If you elaborate, I can talk on that. You're talking about just CPU utilization, no? Srividya? The question is not clear. Memory by default, CloudWatch cannot monitor. That's what I said, custom metrics. Yes. Is it clear till here, everyone? Any questions? Okay, so in CloudWatch, the first thing is alarms. So we have discussed a little bit on alarms as well, right? So CloudWatch is just a service. So CloudWatch will be monitoring the AWS resources using these alarms. Correct, guys? So we need to go and create an alarm. Like how, let's say, for example, if you take one of the EC2, okay? If this EC2 CPU, what is the metric that you can select? You can select any of the metrics out of the four. CPU, network, distance, status check. Let's take, for example, CPU. If the CPU is going greater than 90%, guys, so I can create an alarm saying that for the EC2 resource, and I use the metric called CPU. If the CPU utilization is going greater than 90%, guys, you should get notified, no? So what is the service is used to get notifications? So you can use SNS. Remember, we already created a topic, or you can create a new topic. So you can get the topic. So whenever the CPU utilization is going greater than 90%, automatically this SNS topic will be triggered and you will get notified either through SMS, either through email. Getting it, guys? So this is how you create an alarms for each and everything. I just gave an example with the EC2, right? You can create alarm for any of the guys. Let's say EC2 is the whole thing, right? Under EC2 you have so many metrics. So EC2 we call it as namespace. What is this called? Namespace. Okay, let's take S3. S3 is a namespace. Namespace is nothing but the collection of metrics. I'll show you in the lab. Okay. So we think, so guys, we thought alarm can only do this, like, will do the monitoring whether CPU is going high or low, and it check all those things. But guys, here, alarm can also do some actions. Guys, alarms, apart from notifying you, can also do some actions. What are the actions that it can do? Let's say if the CPU utilization is less than 1% or 5%, that meaning the CPU, that machine is getting used or not? It's not used. So if it is not in use, you might be have a requirement that not use EC2 instance can be stopped or terminated. Yes. So these alarms, based on the requirement, you can terminate, you can stop, you can reboot, you can recover. Guys, can recover. Right? Getting it? And these alarms has mainly three states. Alarm has how many states? Three states. So whenever the CPU utilization is reaching the threshold value, then it will move to the state called alarm, or you can call it as in alarm. In alarm. The state is called in alarm. So if it is not hitting the threshold value, it says, okay, no panic mode. And let's say, for example, if the EC2 instance itself is not available, that meaning it is in stop state, does the CloudWatch will receive the data from the stopped EC2 instance, the CPU utilization and all? No. Then if that is not available, then it will go to insufficient, right? Insufficient. So there are three types of alarms. There are three states of alarms. So what are those? In alarm, okay, and insufficient. So everyone understood get these three states. So whenever it reaches the threshold value, then it says alarm, in alarm. When it is not reaching the threshold value, it says okay. And when the source is not available, then it will move to insufficient. Insufficient meaning it is not getting any data. There is a question. Can we increase memory on fly? Guys, is this possible to increase the memory on fly? So What is the concept that you use if you want to increase the memory? So you need to stop the EC2 instance and then, yeah, scalability you should get in, right? Source meaning here that can be EC2. Source meaning EC2. Okay. Everyone clear till here? All good? Smooth as butter? Okay. That's what I was shouting till here. Insufficient meaning what, sir? Krishna, insufficient. What is, yeah? Come on. That's a very simple thing. That is one of the state. If the EC2 instance is not available, will you receive the data points? That means it's dead. When it's dead, you will get any data points? No. Then the state and you have created alarm for this CPU utilization. So you will get any, what is the alarm will says? Alarm will says insufficient. That means there is no data coming in because you have stopped it. Okay. Sources can be anything. As we have learned EC2, that's the reason why I am taking EC2. So you can take S3, you can take RDS, you can take EFS, that can be anything. Okay. Now, we have discussed about alarms now. Let's talk about events. So, guys, these events now, AWS has moved it and he called it as event bridge. What is this called? Events. Events, now we call it as event bridge. There is a separate service for this, event bridge. So what is this events and why we need these events? And what is the purpose of this? So let me give an example. Do you remember I gave an example in starting this? Let's say, no. Let's say, let me take a real time. Let's say I have an EC2 instance, let's say a DB server, a very important server. So can someone can go and stop that EC2 instance with the DB server? Just like that? No. So someone has stopped the EC2 instance somewhere at some time. You should receive a notification, no? Right? And how do CloudWatch knows that EC2 instance got stopped or not? One thing. Do you remember I gave you another example? If someone is launching the EC2 instance, automatically is getting terminated. Right? Using Lambda we can do. But how does the Lambda knows the EC2 instance got terminated? So remember, for each and everything, a event will be generated. Not logs, Siraj bhai. We call it as events here. So for each and whenever you launch that EC2 instance, launch event is generated. Whenever you stop it, stop event. Whenever you reboot. Whenever you terminate event will be generated. Right? So I'm giving example of EC2. So like this, guys, all these events is captured in a service called Event Bridge. So if you want to catch those events, so which service that you need to go? Event Bridge. Event Bridge. So in Event Bridge, there are so many categories. So if you want to deal with the volumes, there will be a volume category. If you want to deal with something else, right? Right? Yeah. So guys, I lost it. What was that talking? Yeah. For each and every category. So for volumes, you have separate category. If you want to if you want to catch that particular event, guys, if you want to catch that particular event related to volumes, you need to just select volume category. So there is a category like this, guys. How many states are there? Do you remember? For EC2 states, 6 are there. What are those? Pending, running, correct? Stopping, stopped, shutting down, shutting down, or terminated. Right? There are 6. All these kind of these things has put into category called, I'm talking about one category which is called, we call it as EC2 instance status change notification. Guys, there is a category called like this, EC2 instance status change notification. So if you want to catch any events related to pending, running, stopping, stop, shutting down, terminated, then which is the category that you should select? You need to go to EC, you need to go to Event Bridge, and in Event Bridge, you have a category called EC2 Instant Status Change Notification. So you can use that category and then catch it. Let me go and do it. How to do it? See, this is my DB server. Okay, for example, this is EC2 and this is DB server. DB server. So yes, now someone went and stopped this EC2 instance. Someone went and stopped it. Stop. So whenever stop happen, that meaning event will be generated, right? Yes, we can catch that event, that stop event, and then yes, whenever the EC2 instance is getting stopped, then what should happen? What do you need? So I need to route to this target, route to the target. Okay. Now, guys, now that event has been generated, now to which service I need to route it? SNS. Simple. So I will be routing this to SNS. In SNS, I have a topic that will be triggered. So SNS is my target. Got it? Simple. Like this, you can do it. I'll give one more example. So someone has terminated the EC2 instance. Remember that example. Someone is terminating. Okay, no, not terminating. Hold on. So someone is okay. Let's take it. Someone is launching a new EC2 instance and it is getting automatically terminated. This is the question. How do we do it? So what is the event? What is the status that we should be considering? Someone is launching, meaning pending or running. Correct? You can use these two things. Whenever whenever pending and running event has been launched, right? And then a route to the target. So the target should be what this time? Route to the target. Wow. Huh? Guys, so whenever someone is stopping, whenever launching the EC2 instance, it should get terminated. So what is the target here? Yes, the target should be here, lambda. So in lambda, I might write a function which is called terminate function. Correct? And my lambda is my target. Got it? Did you understood? Right? I'm taking few real-time examples. I'm showing you, like, how we can make use of these events here. Got it? This is related to EC2 service. Like this, for each and every service based on the requirement, you can grab it. Based on the requirement, you can route it to any of the service and get the job done. Okay. And do you remember I also gave you one example? Exactly at 9 p.m., all my EC2 instances should get stopped. Exactly at 9 a.m., all the EC2 instances should get started. How do we do this? Scheduler, right? So here, how many Lambda functions I can use? Yes, I can use two. So okay, so I can write two functions. One is to stop, one is called stop Lambda function. You can give any name, right? And you can give start Lambda function, right? Simple. And now in CloudWatch, so basically in this event bridge, guys, in this event bridge, you can do schedule also, or you can do the cron job. Guys, do you know cron tab or cron job? The expression? Yes. So you can mention exactly you can create a schedule or a cron job exactly at 9 p.m. What will happen? Exactly 9 p.m. This will get triggered. Exactly 9 p.m. This Lambda function will go and trigger it, and this Lambda function will go and stop all the EC2 instances which is mentioned in your function itself. Got it? Make sense? Everyone understood till here about the events? Yes, it will be generated. Okay, Khan. Is this clear? Okay. All right. So now let's take, we have a developer here. Okay. This is the developer's laptop. This developer, what our DevOps guy or AWS engineer, whoever it is, what he did was he has launched an EC2 instances. He has launched an EC2 instances and he has put an application. Let's say this is the EC2. Inside the EC2, what he did, he deployed an application. Okay. Guys, and this application, every application will have its own logs. Yes or no? Every application will have its own logs. Yes. If you install Tomcat, you have Tomcat logs. If you install Nginx, you have Nginx logs. If you install any tool or any application, you will have your own logs. What are that logs are used? What is the logs? Any kind of working or any kind of issues related to your application will be logged over there. So like this, what he has multiple EC2 instances with the applications. Okay. So let's say he has these many EC2 instances. Now, every day this guy need to go ahead and then monitor the logs. Every day. Okay. Every day he need to go ahead and monitor it. That meaning, guys, he need to connect to all these EC2 instances one by one in order to check the logs. Correct? He need to log into each and every EC2 instance, and then he need to monitor. He need to open the logs. So here there are only 5. What happens if you have 20 EC2 instances? Is it possible to log into all the EC2 instances and check the logs? Not possible. And that guy will easily get confused. Easily get confused. So this is really a hectic job, correct? So as a developer, what do you like? Tell me in this situation, as a developer or as an admin, as you are doing this job, and how do you like to visualize this? Yes. So all the logs, you want it to be in a central place, one place, correct? Right? You want all the logs to be in one place. How do we do that? So guys, for that, we have something called CloudWatch logs. What is it called? CloudWatch logs. CloudWatch logs. CloudWatch logs. CloudWatch logs, we can utilize this CloudWatch log. So in order to have all your logs from each and every EC2 instance to be pushed to this CloudWatch logs, guys, CloudWatch logs is nothing but how we have AMI snapshot volumes in the left-hand section as a menu. In the CloudWatch also, we have something called CloudWatch logs at the left side. If you click it, all the logs will be shown over there. But the question here is, how do you get each EC2 instance logs over there? For that, what you need to do is you need to install agent in each and every EC2 instance that you want to push the logs. So that you need to install a CloudWatch log agent. Guys, what you need to install, everyone? Agent. Once you install this agent, that agent will start pushing the logs to the CloudWatch logs. Yeah. Got it? How many EC2 instances are there? So all those you can just install the agent, guys, and that in that agent, you can configure that agent. So let's say, for example, there is something called log path, correct? You might be having the log in different paths in the machine, correct, guys? There may be some in Linux, you have in var slash Apache slash logs, var slash nginx slash logs, var slash something else tool slash logs, correct? So you give those log path details in the agent. Whatever is there in that log, everything will be pushed into this CloudWatch logs. Now you might have questions, sir, all the logs will be mixed? No, it will not be mixed. So you can create something called groups, log groups, right? And also you have something called log streams. Log streams is nothing but your instance ID you can use. So from where you are getting the logs is nothing but log stream. And you can group it. And in that group, let's say Tomcat group. So instance server 1, server 2, server 3, you can create a log streams like this. And then each log stream will have its own logs of the EC2 instance. Agent is a small package that you need to install. Okay. Now question here is, guys, now you are installing the agent on the EC2 instance. Can you tell me, does this has access to push logs to CloudWatch to the CloudWatch, guys? No. Then how does we give access to the EC2 instance for this agent to push the logs? What do we do? What is the concept that we can get it here? Super role will come into picture. The role we need to attach to all the EC2 instances. And role we need to give the permission, no? Can you tell me what kind of permissions we should give for the role? CloudWatch permissions you need to give. Correct? So CloudWatch permissions, if you give to the role and role is attached to the EC2 instance, what will happen? So all the logs now push to the CloudWatch logs. Now you go to the CloudWatch logs and you have the log streams, right? You go in each and every server there and see the logs. And guys, these logs are synchronized in sync. So whenever whenever there is a new log comes into the EC2 instance, that will be pushed to the logs immediately. Understood? The CloudWatch logs. Everyone clear? Any questions still here, Chitti? All good? Super. So you are now, can we say that this CloudWatch can also use to monitor your application, not only EC2, because you're checking the logs and all. So there is a certification question here. Remember, CloudWatch can monitor applications also. Yes, how many servers you have, you can install the agent. So installing the agents is nothing but only couple of commands. So you can push that into the user data when you're launching the EC2 instance. So put that script in user data to install this CloudWatch log agent, and then boom, or not 50, 500 servers also you can do it. So tell me, CloudWatch can also monitor Lambda functions? CloudWatch, yes, can monitor your Lambda functions, right? It can monitor your microservices, it can monitor containers, etc. All your guys, everything it will be it can monitor. Let's say you might not know now about microservices like your Docker, Kubernetes, like this containerization and all. So just in case if you have that also on AWS, right? So it can monitor those as well. It can monitor applications, it can monitor everything there. So guys, in nowadays, many people also say, today in class also someone was saying Splunk and all. So why people goes to third-party tools? Why can't they use CloudWatch? Why can't they use CloudWatch? Yes, people will go with the CloudWatch, but the thing is, they have extra features. Yes, good visualization, good clarity, and all. Correct? That's the reason why we have so many third-party tools there. So CloudWatch, at least guys, in our company also, right? We'll be using for certain limit, we will be using the CloudWatch. Not everything you will get it in CloudWatch because that is a native service. So if at all you need more and more and more features, then you can go ahead with the third-party tools. But nowadays, CloudWatch is also getting more better. So one of the important thing is in CloudWatch previously, guys, the first thing that we do monitoring is, let's say you have your own application like boom.com. That boom.com can be easily get monitored from your third-party tool every second by creating any sensor or by creating one endpoint heartbeat health check and all. Yes, you can do it. In your third-party tool, you can do it. But here in CloudWatch, there was no possibility to monitor one endpoint. Since then, he started improving it. So he has developed something called canary. In plural, canaries. What is that? Canaries. So using this canary now, you can do this application monitoring, right? Or you can do website monitoring, website application, right? Let's take, for example, Facebook, website endpoint monitor, Facebook. So I want to know if the Facebook is working or not. Guys, for Facebook persons, for Facebook company, they need to do the health check, no, for the Facebook application, the Facebook application, guys, every second, right? Yes. So they might be having some monitoring tool, right? Yeah, this one, and this canary is the one which I'm talking about. So you can monitor the endpoints. Let's say that is example uh, that is example I'm giving it here for canaries. So using canaries, what we can do is you can monitor any application endpoints. Let's take facebook.com. Yes, you can create a canary and start monitoring facebook.com. So what this canary will do, this canary will go and keep on hitting facebook.com, and then you'll getting the health checks whether that is working or not. Okay, guys, Facebook is working. That doesn't, if the Facebook login is not working, does it make any sense if Facebook is up or not? Doesn't make any sense, because if the, so login also should work, correct? If you put username and password, login should work, then only you can say Facebook is working. So you can create a canary here saying that you can pass those as a variables. Like you create a canary saying that, hey, do the health checks for my endpoint called facebook.com, and then you can catch up that username and password and pass that using the canary. So this canary will run every few minutes or based on your schedule. It will go ahead and open the Facebook in the backend, and it will put the username and password that you have given, and it will make sure that it is getting logged in. If something is wrong there, you will get immediately a notification that Facebook is down or login is not working. That you need to go and check it. Right? And also you can do some testing also, guys. And you can make sure that after login it is working or not. You can collect any string from the backend and you can show that if this particular string is visible, then yes, my website is working. So these kind of this kind of application endpoint monitoring, you can do it using Canary. Now you got it, Andre, and everyone, guys. Yes, it has to. Understood? Everyone clear? Yes, it will hit the endpoints, it will get the reply. Facebook.com is the endpoint. Google.com is the endpoint. Zoom.com is the endpoint. Endpoint of your application. That can be anything. Prakash, this for you. No need to install canaries from the console itself. You're hitting the internet, no? You're not going and hitting any server inside. Sir, CloudWatch will monitor EC2 logs for every 5 minutes, free service or instance releasing. CloudWatch logs. It is automatic sync. That's what I put it here, Shravan. Did you saw that? In sync. It's not 5 minutes. Yes, Siraj. Logs contain what, sir? Srinivas, logs contain information about your application. Like uh, if something went wrong on your application, that will be written in the log. All kind of information, all kind of errors, which is critical information, all activity will be stored or captured into the file. And that file is nothing but log. Yes. It's for all services. Prakash. Any questions? Why you are jumping that, Krishna? We haven't discussed about service lines. Rajkumar, guys, everyone understood what is endpoint? Well, guys, endpoint can be anything. Yeah, come on. Endpoint is, it's a request to whom you will be hitting it. I'm just giving Facebook.com. Can I call this as an endpoint? Any site, any resource, if you want to hit it, if you want to know if this is working or not, all these things can be an endpoint. That can be your application, right? That can be your website, anything that you want to hit it and get reply. That's your endpoint. Canaries is the one which you will be hitting those endpoints, getting a reply that everything is working fine. If something went wrong here, as you are as you are monitoring using Canaries, if something went wrong, Canary will understand and will send an email to you or SMS to you. SNS can be integrated here. Exactly, Shravan. You have in Selenium, no? Right. So yes, it can work like that. You can think like that, yes. Cron job will take it in a lab, Prakash. But it's very simple. Just put it in Google. So we'll have the syntax. Each syntax represents something, hours, minutes, years, and all. So if you put based on the numbers, so based on the numbers, you can. So just put it in Google. Take one example, you'll understand. But tomorrow I'll tell about that also. Don't worry. Yes, Canaries pricing is it's a paid service. Kiran, Canary monitor only the applications here. That is main purpose. For CPU status check, those you can go with the CloudWatch. That's what we have learned today. This is an extra thing that they have implemented where it can. So the CPU net, all these things within your EC2, within your AWS, Canaries can be going and checking something, any endpoints outside. Kiran, your question also got answered. Yes. Any other questions? Get it cleared. Wow, it's a AWS service, ma. Why do I talk about third-party tools, Srividya? It's an AWS service. It's an AWS feature in CloudWatch. In CloudWatch, that is a feature. How we have alarms, events, logs, same way you have Canaries.